Must be pretty late in India or wherever else you're watching us. I don't know what time it must be. In Dubai, it is about 11 o'clock at night, and India, it's already well past midnight. But I thought, I've just witnessed a fine game between India and Hong Kong, and it's best time to share my thoughts with what I witnessed at the ground, and maybe take a few questions as well. First thing that stands out in that victory that India registered by 40 runs versus Hong Kong. I know it's stating the obvious, but India have technically now secured themselves a spot in the Super 4, and that was the first stop. Yes, you expected them to win against a team like Hong Kong, but never say never in a T20 format. So that's the first step taken. India have now officially qualified for Super 4. What that means is that for Pakistan, still it will be a must-win game versus Hong Kong. Whichever team wins, they will qualify. Of course, Pakistan go in as the overwhelming favourite. Also, Hong Kong didn't show anything today as far as the fight is concerned to give any scare to Pakistan. So that's where things stand. So what were the positives for the Indian team? And I can't help but start with the man of the moment, Surya Kumar Yadav. What a knock he played. That's why if you've been following this platform, I've often been saying that he is your best T20 player in the Indian team, and arguably the best T20 player in the world today. In ICC ranking, I think he's in the number 2 spot behind Babar Azam. But remember, he's a newbie in T20 international, and already he scaled such heights and reached number 2. That in itself is commendable. And he's also a middle order batsman, unlike top order batsmen that get a lot of opportunity in T20 games like Babar does. Yet for Sky to be there as number 2, incredible. Just tells you how good he is. Today's knock, I mean, we often use this term very loosely where we say XY was batting on a different pitch, but today you could see what that means. He was literally batting on a different wicket where stroke making wasn't the easiest for every other batsman. He made it look so easy. I mean, from the very first ball that he faces, sweeps the ball for a 4 between fine leg and square leg. It was so nonchalant, so casual, as if he does this, day in and day out. That's how he batted. I don't know if you could see Virat Kohli's reaction, because Virat Kohli had the best seat in the house, the non-strikers end. I could see him, and I was focusing on Virat too. After every stroke of Surya Kumar Yadav, he couldn't help but clap. And there was a expression of bewilderment on his face, like he was surprised as this, what is this guy made of? What does he eat? How can someone make batting look so easy? And this is Virat Kohli we're talking about, one of the finest batsmen of his generation. Looking at Surya Kumar Yadav with so much admiration just tells you the kind of knock that Sky played today, and it was heartening to see Virat enjoy it as much as the fans were from the non-strikers end. So outstanding display from Surya Kumar Yadav. He gave that firepower which took India to 192, just put the game out of bed for Hong Kong. In the end, India won convincingly by 40 runs, but imagine if he hadn't played the game and 20 runs short, the target inside, it could have been a different game. So I think he was the difference. That's how well he played. Even Rohit Sharma at the end of the inning was totally surprised. You could see it from his expression with the shot making that Sky had today. Other positive, I think Virat Kohli's knock was a very big positive today. I know people might look at his strike rate and say that it's not ideal for T20 cricket, but I'll say one thing. On the flip side, had he not scored against Hong Kong, then everyone would have been out criticizing him, saying that, hey, listen, you can't even get runs against Hong Kong. So in that regard, it was a much needed 50 for Virat, and you can see gradually he's getting into the groove. Got a 30 plus, or in the previous game got a 50 here. Looked far more in control in this game than he was in that Pakistan game. So all in all, it's a step forward for Virat Kohli, and of course with it for Indian cricket. I look at it as a positive too. Even Rohit's inning today, 31 odd in I think 16 deliveries or something like that, or maybe 19. I mean, a strike rate of 160, which is very good. So you could see that attacking intent from Rohit Sharma. He had promised these kind of starts, he's promised this kind of template, and he's walking the talk on that front. So good stuff by Rohit. I think that was also a positive. Indian bowling, one big change. In the game versus Pakistan, it was fast bowlers that dominated. Today the Indian spinners did well. Ravindra Jadeja doing very well, and Yuzi Chahal too. So Indian spinners came to the fore. Now to the worry areas, and I know a lot of you will ask about KL Rahul, and yes, it wasn't the best inning at the strike rate that he was playing at some time. he was trying to, up the tempo, to up the strike rate, but wasn't really happening for him, and that's a sign of a batsman not in great nick. But you have to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's coming after an injury, didn't have a great Zimbabwe series, didn't have a great first game, and hasn't had a great game now. But again, with time, he's a confidence kind of player. One thing I've noticed with KL Rahul, he's a confident sort of a player. If he gets good confidence, if he gets one or two good knocks, that's when he really comes into the groove. So he will need one or two knocks to just throw that rust away in his batting. It is going to take some time, but I think it'll come. And I was talking to Sunny Gavaskar earlier in the day, and he made a very valid point, saying that, listen, we're already talking about Virat and Rohit Sharma opening. Why? If you can give a long rope to a few other players, why not to KL Rahul also? He's one of the finest batsmen you have, and I tend to agree with him. So I think let's not be impatient. There will be a few more crucial games coming up. India potentially will play 6 more games in the Asia Cup, so plenty more time for him to get back into form and do well as the tournament progresses. I've been seeing him in the nets. He's been batting very well. It's just a matter of time, I think, with KL Rahul, that he gets back into form. The area of concern, the other one, was India's bowling and leaking a lot of runs in the death. That's something that India would have to think about. Avesh Khan hasn't been in great form. In fact, after that standout IPL 2 seasons ago, he's not been in great form. Didn't have a great IPL this time. After that, for India also hasn't had too many great games. So the Indian team management has a lot of faith in him. They've persisted with him, so clearly they have their reasons why they're doing it. But he will have to step up sooner or later. Also leaking a lot of runs today. Ashdeep leaked a few runs in the death over. So these are areas you'll have to work on because there are tougher battles that await this Indian team going forward. So that was how, all in all, the match panned out versus Hong Kong. Indian team now has a longish gap before they play the next game, and that will be, as I said, potentially against Pakistan. Pakistan are up against Hong Kong. You expect Pakistan to beat them, qualify for the Super 4, and then India will play Pakistan on Sunday. That's A1 versus A2 that will be played. So India has a longish gap now, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3-day gap. I think tomorrow most likely they will have optional practice. You won't see too many players turn up other than the ones that weren't playing the game. And then from Friday onwards, I think they'll get into the groove for the next India versus Pakistan game. So that's the latest from Dubai. I'll be bringing you all the latest updates. So don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today if you haven't already for regular updates from Asia Cup. As I said, the tournament is getting excited. Afghanistan is looking good. India-Afghanistan will also be a very, very good game apart from the next India-Pakistan game. So I'll see you then tomorrow. It's another day with some fresh news updates from the Asia Cup. Till then, bye-bye. See you. And thanks for joining. I'll just take few questions. Sports Chetra, I've already given my views on Virat. Just go back and see it. And a lot of you, Shaiju, Saket, everyone is asking about Avesh, and I've given my views on that as well. Also on KL Rahul. So just check that out. Go back and check the entire video out. Bye bye. Nikhil Naz signing off. See you.